What is the entity, and where did it come from? We can only see it when we have the Vanny mask on, and the mask is augmented reality, so it's technically not a ghost, because a ghost is an apparition of a dead person. Therefore, it's not a person, right? Well, yeah, kinda. We first come into contact with the entity at the beginning of the Ruin DLC in Monty Golf. We are tasked with deactivating the first child node, and this is where we first see it. So what is it? Well, first we need to understand what the MXES is, and unfortunately we don't actually know what MXES stands for, but we do know that it's an advanced security protocol, and Virtual Augmented Neural Network Integration Unit is what the Vanny mask stands for. So given the appearance of the security mask and the entity's physical appearance, it's implied that Vanny created the system and or trapped the mimic. So technically speaking, the entity is an embodiment of the MXES, which, like I said, is a digital security device that confines and regulates the mimic to prevent it from escaping the underground levels of the Pizzaplex. In basic terms, think of the entity as a gatekeeper to keep the MXES system online. Now, whenever Cassie has the mask on, it constantly stalks and attempts to kill her to prevent her from disabling the security nodes around the Pizzaplex. And despite the fact that the entity is trying to kill Cassie and stop her, it's technically a good guy or an anti-hero. This is because it's trying to keep the mimic locked underground. We just don't know that until the end of the DLC. So, like I said, it's a digital manifestation and it resembles a dark blue rabbit animatronic. Now, I do have a small theory here. Who else is a blue rabbit animatronic? Well, Bonnie, right? And we can find Bonnie dead in the bowling alley. So maybe someone or something destroyed the Bonnie animatronic and forced the ghost spirit into becoming the entity, hence it also looking like a rabbit. But that's just a small theory I had. It's most likely just a Vanny lookalike, but it's fun to speculate. So as I was saying, the entity is very glitchy, fading in and out of view. It has what looks to be like an electric current line for arms, but lacks legs. Its head is a mixture between human and rabbit with square eye sockets and circular eyes. It has a mouth, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't hear it speak at all, as it seems to be incapable of most forms of communication outside it merely being summoned when the MXES is at risk of being shut down. Now, because it's so determined to keep the mimic imprisoned underground, the entity is willing to even hurt innocent people to achieve this goal. This is further shown how it targets Cassie. It will literally kill an innocent child. Now, a cord indicates that the entity has appeared, and Cassie must quickly remove the mask to repel it. Failing to do so will obscure Cassie's view in static and notify nearby animatronics to you. After keeping the mask on for too long, it will trigger a guaranteed jump scare regardless of the present animatronic's location. Now that we know what it is and where it came from, what really happened with the entity? Well, following the events of Security Breach, MXES was designed by an unknown creator, although implied to be Vanny, to protect security nodes that are planted throughout the Pizzaplex's AR world in order to keep the mimic hidden in the underground Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place. The MXES guards the abandoned Pizzaplex in a digital state, currently only able to be seen and interacted with while viewing the AR world, so the average human won't even know that it's there. Sometime after the Pizzaplex's destruction, Gregory's friend Cassie is lured by the mimic to enter the building's remains while copying Gregory's voice and giving her instructions. She then finds and puts on the Vanny mask, which triggers the MXES to begin stalking her and constantly getting closer and sending out various animatronics to harm her. Fortunately, while exploring the catwalks in Monty Golf, Gregory installs a signal jammer that banishes the entity from the AR realm for the time being, although it returns not long after, bypassing the signal jammer and activating one of its own, as well as an AR inhibitor device that prevents Cassie from wearing the mask. It then takes control of the large cupcake machine in the bakery and inconveniences Cassie's progress, which forces her to avoid a reactivated Glamrock Chica. Once Cassie evades Chica and disables the inhibitor, she then continues forward into the Pizzaplex's server room, and this is where MXES should not be a threat. This turns out to be incorrect when MXES appears as a giant version of itself and attempts to call Chica before Cassie escapes. Although after this encounter, it resumes its pursuit as usual. At the end of the game, Cassie shuts down the MXES program, which forces it to disappear into a machine and stop the pursuit. Once the real Gregory helps Cassie escape the mimic, he explains MXES's purpose and tells Cassie that by disabling the security system, she has unintentionally aided the mimic in its escape. He then proceeds to drop the elevator Cassie is on to prevent the mimic from following her. But if you watch my other video, I explain how that's not Gregory at the end of the game either. I highly recommend you check it out. After all that being said, will the entity make a return? I believe so. Thanks for watching.